6 kilometers beneath the surface, where sunlight fades and color no longer exists. The ocean holds its breath. Here, in the black silence of the Atlantic, lies a ghost made of iron and memory, the RMS Titanic. For over a century, her story has been told through books, documentaries, and endless fascination. But there is one place the world has rarely seen, a place between luxury and machinery, between history and oblivion, the hidden middle deck, a forgotten world suspended in time. As the submersible begins its descent, dust and plankton drift like snow through endless night. The pressure grows heavier, the water colder, the light dimmer, until all sense of distance disappears. Then, through the darkness, a shadow appears, a shape so vast it almost feels alive. The Titanic rises out of the black. Her hull glimmers faintly under the ROV's light, ribs of rust stretching into forever. Once the symbol of progress, now the cathedral of time. The camera moves closer. The forgotten deck emerges, half collapsed, half intact, like a mouth frozen mid-breath, trying to speak one last word before drowning. Inside, a hallway stretches into silence. Cabin doors hang crooked, their brass handles glinting faintly in the light. Every room still remembers. A child's shoe, a collapsed suitcase, a porcelain cup fused to the wall by rust. No sound remains, but something deeper does, the feeling that these walls once held life. The faint sway of curtains that no longer exist. The echo of footsteps that will never return. It's as though time itself stopped breathing here. The next room opens wide, the third-class dining saloon, once filled with chatter, the clinking of plates, and the smell of bread and coffee. Now only stillness remains. Tables stand in their places, some upright, others fallen, each coated in a century of dust. A fork lies beside a cracked glass. A chair tilts, waiting for someone who never came back. It's not ruin you see here, it's preservation. The ocean didn't destroy this room, it embalmed it. Every object sits exactly where it fell, as if time itself decided to remember. Farther down the corridor, the light finds the mail room. Sacks once filled with letters now rest as rusted mounds, messages that never arrived, words of love, business, and routine that sank before they were ever read. The ocean turned paper to dust. But somehow, the intention behind every word still lingers here. It's as if every unread letter still whispers upward, carried by silence instead of ink. A jellyfish glides past the broken shelves, its glow illuminating the last postal memory on Earth. Then comes beauty, in decay. The Turkish bath, once a sanctuary of marble and steam, now a mosaic of ruin and coral. Bronze taps shimmer with sea growth. Algae flow down cracked tiles like green silk. Tiny shrimp drift through what was once warm air. The place of luxury has become a cathedral of the deep, where nature, not man, defines elegance. The ship that carried wealth and power has become home to creatures too small to name. Even in ruin it serves a purpose. Even in silence it breathes. Further in, the crew's world. Here slept the men who kept Titanic alive. Their bunks lie broken, their boots still near the floor, their nameplates eaten by rust. A toolbox lies half open, wrenches and pliers fused in iron. A mug, still upright, as if waiting for the next morning shift that never came. Every corner here feels personal, not relics, but reminders. They didn't build for glory. They worked and they served. And when the end came, most never made it to the decks above. In this room, the past doesn't feel distant. It feels human. Beyond the crew quarters, a narrow stairwell drops into darkness. This is the ship's heartbeat, the boiler passage. Here, massive iron giants once thundered, feeding the Titanic's engines with relentless heat. Now they rest in cold silence, their pipes twisted, their gauges frozen at zero. A single droplet of seawater trembles on a cracked valve, then falls, like the last beat of a heart that refuses to stop. The ROV's light glides through the machinery, revealing metal veins glowing orange with bacteria. It feels less like a wreck and more like a body slowly becoming one with the sea. The path narrows again. Doors swing open into the pantry. Here the air once smelled of bread, fruit, and spice. Now it smells only of rust and eternity. Shelves stand warped but proud, jars fused to the racks, labels faded into blue dust. One can still read a single word: peaches. It hasn't held fruit for 100 years, but it still holds memory. Everywhere, life reclaims what was left behind. Soft white bacteria draw lines on the walls, like nature's handwriting across human design. And then, the heart of Titanic's grace, the grand staircase. Above it was splendor. Here, it's ruin and reverence combined. The ROV's light sweeps along iron scrollwork, wrapped in coral and dust. Steps curve into darkness, each one cloaked in the slow bloom of rust. Where once there was the sound of footsteps, now only the faint hum of the ocean moves. The glass dome that once spilled sunlight now reflects nothing but silt and memory. It's haunting and heartbreakingly beautiful. Even in decay, Titanic's artistry endures. Past the staircase, the galley. Once the heartbeat of daily life, the clang of pans, the rush of steam, the laughter of cooks. Now, everything is still. Counters warped. Utensils hang in silence. Plates lie shattered beneath a century of dust. A small lanternfish glides past, its light flickering like a candle in a forgotten chapel. Even the ocean seems to whisper here, not with violence but with respect. This is where humanity's noise met eternity's quiet. At the ship's far end lie the vaults, geometric, endless, sealed in iron. Crates and trunks collapse under time's weight, their shapes preserved in coral outlines. Inside, fabrics, tools, instruments, all reduced to memory. The camera glides through the maze, each crate like a tomb of ordinary life. Nothing valuable, yet everything priceless, because what remains here isn't treasure, it's proof. Proof that life once pulsed through these corridors, that the world once believed in things that could never sink. One final corridor, narrow, unmarked. The ROV drifts slowly forward. At the end saw a sealed door, untouched since 1912. Tiny fish circle it, their scales glinting like stars. The light lingers, but the door doesn't open. Some stories, it seems, prefer silence to discovery. The camera pulls back. Dust rises, the light fades. As the submersible rises again, the Titanic fades into the darkness below. What remains is not a wreck, but a monument to time, to loss, to endurance. The ocean has not erased her. It has rewritten her, turned steel into coral, marble into sand, tragedy into memory. The hidden deck beneath the Titanic lies between two worlds, not dead, not alive, but dreaming. Down there, in the cold stillness, the ship still breathes quietly. And if you listen long enough, you can almost hear her heartbeat, steady, eternal, beneath the endless weight of the sea.